Hi, it's Mike, your colleague and your student in life and leadership. What I wanted to kind of talk about today was something called shame. And so it was a term that I'd kind of, heard growing up, you should be ashamed of yourself, yeah, like shame. But it wasn't really that I've truly understood it until I heard the work from Brene Brown. And she really introduced me to better understand what shame is and how much it really played a role in my life. And so I think a lot of us who feel not good enough, who feel like we don't belong, who struggle with feeling like we're worthy of love and attention or anything like that, that actually derives from shame. So, shame is that feeling that we're not good enough. It is that feeling that you're not worthy of love, any of those things. And Dr. Brene Brown really helped me to see those things and better understand where a lot of my insecurities and my feelings came from. Because what the difference is there's shame and there's guilt. She talks about the two, and she says that shame is more about I am bad versus guilt, which is I did something bad. So if you're in shame and you feel like I'm not ever going to be good enough for that, or I'm just horrible, I'm a bad person, or I'm bad at this, or I can't ever do that, that's really going to limit what you're able to do and grow. Versus if you feel guilt, it's more of like I did something bad, but I'm still a good person. I made a mistake, but that doesn't make me a bad person. And that better allows you to grow and better allows you to improve. And that's why I really want you all to think about how does shame play a role in your life? Because what Dr. Brown talks about is that she says that shame grows in silence, secrecy, and judgment. It really does. Because I can give you a perfect example for me. As a physician, when I went to medical school, I did not realize how much shame I carried in terms of feeling like I was not good enough to be a doctor. And having that feeling really sat in silence for me because I kept it to myself. I didn't want other people to know that I had that feeling of not being good enough or that I wasn't smart enough to be with all the other students here in medical school. And then again, that silence of not sharing it with anyone really allowed it to fester in me. And having that shame festering in me really just increased my insecurities. And then on top of that, that judgment, that self-judgment of telling myself that nobody was telling me that I wasn't smart enough. Nobody was telling me that I couldn't do it, but I was doing that to myself because I allowed that shame to just fester in me. And so again, really important to recognize for shame versus guilt. Guilt is healthier, shame. And so when you catch yourself saying, I'm not this, or I'm a bad that, or I'm just terrible this, please know that that's coming from shame and not a healthy perspective, but really changing it to, you know what, I made a mistake. I didn't do well, or I didn't do that great on this exam, but that doesn't make me stupid, or that doesn't make me an idiot or not smart enough. And I think once you can break that cycle of shame, it really allows you to get better and improve. And the best way to do that really is empathy. And so again, Dr. Brene Brown talks about how empathy really plays a huge role in being able to allow person to overcome the shame, because when you can see that other people feel the same way, it was amazing to me how many people struggled with their insecurities or imposter syndrome in medical school. It really helped me a lot to realize that I wasn't alone and that I could get better and that I could get to be a good doctor one day. And it wasn't because I wasn't smart enough or good enough. It really was that I just had to shift my mindset and push myself out of the shame mindset and really think about how can I continue to improve and get better so that I can be a good physician or anything else. And so in your personal lives, think about whether that looks like being a better parent, being a better spouse, being a better employee or a better leader, whatever that might look like, to remember that don't let the shame overcome those feelings that can allow you to grow and be better. Hope this helps, and looking forward to our next session. All right, see you soon.